Welcome back. In this series, we're going to be teaching you the 8 verses of brocade. Also, sometimes it's called the 8 pieces of brocade. And we're going to be splitting this 8 verses of brocade into 2 different segments just because of the length of the movements. The pictogram for this series is power. Now, the pictogram for power is a very interesting concept. It can also translate from the Chinese into English as moral. It's a person standing sideways. You remember the pictogram for Qi, we had this pictogram in the midst of that. It's a person standing sideways looking out, and we have another line which actually adds to the concept of moving forward, which also is symbolized by a straight line. So it's a person moving forward with a loving heart. The heart is actually the symbol of the aorta and the different chambers of the beating of the heart. The symbol for 10, a plus sign, and then we have eyes that we add into it. So the pitto for power is a person moving forward with a loving heart that 10 eyes can find no fault with. Originally this pitto was an army that was moving forward with one heart that 10,000 eyes could find no fault with. So the concept is, when you're moving forward, what is your goal? What is your intent? When we apply martial arts from a self-defense perspective, when we hit someone or we have to hurt someone, our intention is never to hurt them. Our intention is to stop them. So we're moving from a loving intention for ourselves, our family, our community, which is again what the difference is between assault and self-defense. In assault, the intention is to hurt, to be able to take something from that person. The intention is greed or possessiveness, whereas in self-defense and from a community standard, it is to protect and preserve. Again, we're moving out of love for ourselves, our family, our community. So when you're doing, again, the exercises in the 8 verses of brocade and all the exercises, you want to move from a loving intent to make your body stronger and more flexible and more fluid. If you look at our healthcare system, there are a lot of people who are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who become prisoners in their own bodies because they do not have a loving intent for themselves. They move forward to accumulate more things. They have lots of really cool material stuff, but they don't emphasize the one thing that is the most valuable thing they have, which is this brocade, the most expensive cloth that you can own. Much more valuable than any of your cars or any of your clothing or tapestries you have in your house at this point in time. Now, the reason this set is called the 8 verses of brocade was because originally this was a poem or a song that would be sung out, and as you sung the poem or the song, it would basically tell you how to weave or move through the 8 verses of brocade. A brocade is a very expensive fabric or cloth, and again, the concept is that the most expensive fabric or cloth you have is your body, and so the 8 verses of brocade is designed to help you weave it into a better, more luxurious brocade. Now, the first movement is called Support the Sky. We have a high stance and we interlock our fingers, thumbs in too. We breathe in and we open the body up, just feel the whole body expand. Come up to about your sternum height, low sternum, solar plexus. Turn your hands over, breathe out and sink. Breathe in, stretch the arms up towards the sky, opening up the rib cage, opening up the sides of the body. Let that breath go all the way to the top of the hands. And then breathe out and sink, rounding the body. Again, breathe in, turn your hands over, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Again, the movement should be gentle and smooth as if you're weaving silk. Again, a very common concept in Tai Chi. Silk reeling or silk weaving. The body moves smoothly from position to position. If you feel especially tight in a particular area, hold that posture. Intend for it to relax and soften and open, and then go to the next movement. Again, breathe in, breathe out, and sink. Breathe in, breathe out, and sink. Come up and harmonize, and then swing tree. We're going to do this again from the rear position as well. If you notice, we have a high stance, so this is actually opening on elongating the body. If you visualize yourself like a tree, growing up towards the sky. As you breathe in, you can hold this position and let the breath sink down into your feet, keeping your arms up. As you breathe in, again, you let your arms stretch and open. And again, breathe out and sink. Breathe in, let the arms stretch and open. You can actually sway to one side, the other side very gently. You'll feel the muscles in your stomach opening and softening, opening up the ribs. Again, the key is never to force any movement. Come down, relax, let your back round, letting the muscles stretch out the spine like in energy arms. Again, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Let the arms cross and round, come up, and harmonize. Your harmonizing movements can either be big or small. So again, you can take a big harmonizing deep breath and really let it relax. And you might need to do 3 or 4 of those. Or again, we can do small harmonizing movements. It all depends upon how much pressure you feel in your body. And again, the key is, even though this is a low impact aerobic exercise, you'll feel your heat really starts rising in your body as you start doing these exercises, because your blood is pumping more efficiently through your system. You may find yourself even a little bit out of breath at times. If you're finding yourself out of breath again, make sure you slow down, relax, so you don't put any stress, undue stress on your heart. Again, as you're doing this movement, you want to get your heart rate up. A lot of times your heart rate will get up, but you don't ever want to get up to the point where you're talking or breathing like this. So again, it's very important that you can always talk the way I'm talking throughout the whole movements, through all your exercises. Whenever you start to breathe heavy, you're moving more into an anaerobic form of exercise instead of an aerobic form of exercise. So very important to remember, this is a low impact aerobic form of exercise, not anaerobic. Movement number 2 in the 8 verses of Brocade is called shoot the bow. Now it's interesting because this set sort of goes from a high stance to a low stance, high stance, low stance. In shoot the bow, we go to a wide stance. We bring both arms up in front of the body, pushing our elbows together, kind of almost like a boxer's guard position, but of course you wouldn't be square like this. We bring our right arm up, or left arm if you're mirroring me. Turn your left hand out, and you can open up 2 fingers. You can point with 1 finger. You can open the whole hand into a claw like you're grabbing onto a grapefruit. And you bring your right hand back like you're drawing a bow back, and push the left hand out. As you do this again, you want the pelvic girdle to open and sink. You want a straight line from your arm all the way back to the shoulder. Again, you breathe in, coming up, and breathe out, drawing the bow on the other side, and sink. Again, breathe in, and breathe out. This is a very strong structural position. You should be able to have somebody stand with their chest against your arm on this side and be able to support their body weight very easily. If your shoulders turn, you'll collapse. So again, that's why you want that straight line of force with shooting the bow. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Relax and sink. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, you want to do a number of these on your own. As you come back to the center, you come down, come up, harmonize. We're going to do one from the side position. Again, you have the arms up. As you shoot back, again, you can use the 2 fingers. You can point the fingers. You can have the 2 fingers up like you're looking through a bow sight. You can breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. If you want to take this to a little bit of a higher level, what you do is as you come out, we're then going to rock our dantian. The dantian is that center point we talk about. Basically just the center point. It can be considered in the belly button or the abdomen or low abdomen. Once we're sinking, we're going to turn the hand over. And all we're going to do is just let our body gently sway back and forth. Again, sort of like we were talking about before, those cables in the feet, where the body rocks forward and back. We're opening up these muscles in the hip girdle. And come back up, breathe in, breathe out and sink. Again, just rock forward and back. Again, you want to be like a willow tree and like an oak tree. So this is helping us to be like the willow, being able to sway in the wind. When we're just standing here, that's like the oak. And come up, harmonize. We'll do just a few repetitions from behind. Again, we come out and we shoot the bow. We can relax and sink. We take a deep breath. As you relax and sink, you're going to find your muscles let go and relax some more. If you take another deep breath, relax and sink, they'll let go some more. So you'll find that as they let go, though, even though they're relaxing, you're going to feel more pressure in the body because now your muscles are relaxed. Your tendons and ligaments have to come into play to help the body hold together. So in the Chinese martial art of Tai Chi, a lot of times they talk about using your sinews, again, really your tendons and ligaments, to move and to allow the muscle to shift from direction to direction. Because again, as we're getting our muscles to soften and relax, our muscles all have opposing members to them. And with that opposing member, one extends and one contracts. One expands as the other compresses. And this one, if it can't expand anymore, it's because this one can't contract anymore. So again, you always want to think in terms of your muscles working together efficiently. If my tricep throws my arm out, my bicep pulls it back. If they're relaxed, my tricep can throw the arm out quickly, my bicep can pull it back quickly. The shift is in the tendon ligament, so the muscle can go that. It can be a very smooth shift, but if one is too tight, then I throw it out, and maybe my bicep muscle pulls because it couldn't stretch out enough. As this one was expanding, it was too tight, so it couldn't expand to the point it needed to. Or as I pull it back, again, my tricep pulls because it couldn't contract enough as it was moving in. So again, you want the muscles to work at their maximum effectiveness and efficiency. And again, by holding the hand out, we also work on getting our bone structure aligned properly as well. Okay, next movement in the series is called splitting palms. So we went from that high movement to the low movement. Now we're back to a high movement again. We have a high stance. We bring the ball up. We're going to turn our left hand out, or if you're mirroring me again, you're going to use your right hand. Your one hand goes down and the other hand goes up. The one hand is in front of the groin, the other hand is above the head. Again, you relax and sink. Breathe in, hold the ball. Turn the other hand out. One hand goes up, one hand goes down. Again, you're splitting the palms. You breathe in, turn the hand, and breathe out. You can elongate the body as you do the movement, and then compress. Or you can elongate the body and let the body compress and sink as you split the palms. Again, you want to work on both movements. See which one feels more comfortable for you. But again, Tai Chi is all about yin and yang, hard, soft, expansion, contraction. And you want to work everything so it moves smoothly, effectively, and efficiently together. Because we do that from the rear position. Again, we breathe in, turn the left hand out, and breathe out. Let that left hand reach up toward the sky. Again, breathe in, and breathe out. This time we're going to breathe in, continue to breathe in, and then breathe out. Again, breathe in, and then breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. This time we're going to change the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So again, you can follow the breath. You can change your breathing. Whenever you're doing your breath, you want to think in terms of how are you moving the breath through your body. Are you breathing into, generally we breathe in to expand a particular area. We breathe out to compress a particular area. So you can see when we breathe in, we want to expand the body more. We breathe in some more. We're expanding both arms. And then we breathe out. When we breathe in, we expand. We want to go and compress air. We breathe out and we compress the body. So again, you're following a basic pattern with your breath of expanding when you breathe in, compressing when you breathe out. Also, what's nice about that set after you've done shoot the bow, again, it gives you a little bit of a break from the leg work. Again, one of the keys that we'll be working on more and more is getting the legs to be very strong, very flexible. We want to be able to get those legs to be able to compress and expand, to be able to contract and open up, so that the body again works very, very efficiently. If you look at, again, old people, a lot of seniors, they have a very hard time getting down and they have a very hard time getting up. So we want to foster that movement in you now, so that way by the time you're 60 or 70, you'll still find it very easy to get down and to get up. So you won't become a prisoner in your own body where you're locked up in your movements. Okay, the last movement of the first half of the 8 verses brocade is called energy pack. Now this exercise is for the kidneys, and we breathe in, we turn the hands over, we turn our head to our right, and as you turn your head to your right, you want to feel how the muscles are affected all the way down into the kidneys. And then we're going to bring our hands to our left side as we breathe out, and we're going to compress that right kidney gently as if we are playing an accordion. Again, we breathe in, turn the head to the left. Again, you want to learn to feel how when you move the body, how it affects a lot of other parts, just like a clock. One of those grandfather clocks that have all those gears. Again, you push the hands to your right side as you compress the kidneys on the left side. Again, breathe in and turn the head, breathe out. Again, this wants to be a very gentle movement, very soft. This is almost a dispersal exercise after the first 3 movements. Again, breathe in and breathe out. 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 We'll do that from the rear position as well. And breathe in, turn your head to your left, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. People who are terminally ill, when their bodies are shutting down, the 3 organs that use most of the body's energy are the lungs, the heart, and the kidneys. So again, in a raging river, it's very hard for moss to gather. So we want to keep all these different areas of our body open and flowing. Again, as you do this set, you're going to be thinking in terms of building your body into a brocade. And again, you do that 1 stitch at a time. Every time you move, every time you breathe, with the intention to weave your body into a brocade, you are actively doing that because the body follows the mind. So it's very important. Again, if you exercise, if you do these movements and you're in your negative, bad mood, you don't start by breathing, harmonizing, stretching out your arms, opening up your heart. You can actually do these exercises and they can have an ill or bad effect on you. So again, very important, whenever you're doing these exercises, make sure you start with that pictogram for power, that you move forward with a loving intent to build your power, to build your knowledge, to build your center, to build your harmony, because then you can go back in the world and create what you want to create and do what you want to do. In the second half of the 8 verses brocade, we're going to show you the pictogram for harmony. So again, the pictogram for, this is also going to be the pictogram for peace. It's a grain stalk going into the ground. It's got some leaves on it. And again, we have the pictogram for mouth, which you should be able to recognize by this time. The pictogram for harmony is a grain stalk and a mouth. When we put good food into our body, it produces a natural harmony. We go, ah. When we put bad food in our body, we go, ugh. So as we do these different movements, we need to learn to listen to what produces a natural harmony within our body, what feels good, and what doesn't feel good. A lot of times when we think about intuition, we think of intuition as, I have a gut feeling. what did I feel in my gut? I knew that wasn't right, but I went ahead and went with my reason because people convinced me that I should go ahead and do this, but I knew I shouldn't have done that. So again, one of the things you want to learn to listen to is you want to learn to listen to your gut. Deepak Chopra talks about how the cells in the gut are the same cells that you think within your brain. The difference is that the cells in your gut haven't evolved to a level where they can doubt themselves. They don't have that ability to separate the way your brain cells do. Because oftentimes, your gut feeling is what you want to go with. In fact, actually, I should say all the time you want to go with your gut feeling more so than your reason, because your gut can feel everything that's out there, whereas your reason oftentimes is only looking at a part of the picture. So again, very important. Part of the goals of the Get It Integrative Arts Tai Chi program is to help you build your knowledge, to be able to shoot other people up to higher levels, so that goes over the mouth. Your power, so you move forward from a loving intent. Again, that pictogram goes over the heart. And to always listen to, does it create harmony when you test it? Again, what does it create? Does it create a natural harmony within you, or does it create disharmony and discontent? Now the first movement in the second set is called Tiger Sits on Rock, and I'm actually going to do this facing away from you so you can do it with me. You start in your horse riding stance, or your just horse stance. Turn your left foot out, so we have a table here with the left leg, and then turn your right foot out gently so it sort of anchors. We're going to shift our weight back. You may need to bring your feet a little closer together, a little bit further apart. You want this hip above this left leg. From here, breathe in. You can use your hands sort of to help you see what you're doing, and then breathe out and sink onto that right leg. Just kind of very gently bounce up and down, very lightly, very gently, to really feel that leg up. Then breathe in, turn your left foot straight, turn your right foot out. Again, adjust your stance so you can make sure your weight's above your left heel, and sit down toward that left heel. You can put your hands on your hips if you'd like. Again, very gently bounce. Again, this isn't a big, quick bounce, so it's a very slow, gentle bounce, shifting directions. Again, you breathe in, turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, sit back. You can actually let your hands come out, kind of like you're surfing, keeping your balance. You can actually sit down more if you'd like. You can just kind of relax and feel your whole body sink into that foot. Okay, again, that would be the advanced way of doing this. Turn your foot, set it out. Again, just tiger sitting on rock, this is called. Again, we can turn it, and we can also just very gently sit in our high stance as well. Again, this back leg is full, and our right leg isn't completely empty here. Again, it's still rooted to the ground, but the left leg will be the one that you really feel the weight in. Again, you don't want to overdo any of these. You might try practicing these for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, building up. Again, shift. Another way to do this is to actually let your body, kind of give your body a break, by kind of just shifting back and forth between movements, almost like you'd see in a low impact aerobic class. And then you sit and squat down. Again, we kind of take a little break here. You can do 9 movements in between, 7 movements in between, or 5 movements in between. Even as few as 1, 2, 3, sit, 1, 2, 3, sit, or even 1. 1, sit, 1, sit. Or again, as many as 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On 9, sit. I'll do 7 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sit. Okay, then you come up and harmonize. Again, with Tiger Sits on Rock, you're getting used to holding more pressure in the body to be able to have a stronger reservoir of chi, or energy, so to speak. So if you think again about a very, very strong compression core back here, then the energy goes through the legs, through the body, and then out the hands. Again, we're always working on our rootedness into the ground. We're working on rooting into the ground with Tiger Sits on Rock. This next movement is called blowing bellows. Now, if you think of a bellows that you use to heat a fire, you just got this, core on one end that you then compress on the other end. The goal of this movement is to open the spine, and I'm going to show this from the side. We start with a fair lady's wrist movement. The wrists come up, fingers fall, palms fall, fingers come up. So we have this gentle movement up and down. Your feet want to be wherever they're comfortable, shoulder width or further apart. Again, you breathe in. As you breathe out, you bend at your waist and you sink. Now, it's important to keep your knees bent. This is not to stretch out the hamstrings. As you breathe in, you want to really feel the area in the back expand. And as you breathe out, you want to let this lower lumbar open and stretch. Again, you breathe in again. Fill in your back. Let your thoracic vertebrae stretch and open. Again, breathe in again. And let your neck breathe and open. You want to gently grab the ankles on the inside or the outside. Again, you breathe in. And you very gently, as you breathe out, pull, letting your elbows go out to the side. You then very slowly come back up, one vertebrae at a time. The arms hang. The head is the very last thing to come. And the wrists come up, and the palms fall. Now, when you first do this exercise, you might only do one breath when you're in the hanging down position for your entire spine, and then come up slowly. Again, then you can build up to 2 breaths, 3 breaths, build up to 9 breaths. The key is you don't want to come up very quickly, because you can actually get dizzy or lightheaded because of the change in pressure. So again, you want to be very, very careful with this movement. Again, doing it from the rear position. You breathe in and you breathe out. Again, make sure the knees are bent. Again, breathe in. You can actually put your hands back here and feel the back expand. And breathe out. Let your lower lumbar stretch and open. Again, breathe in. Let the back expand. Let the thoracic vertebrae stretch and open. Again, breathe in. Let the neck stretch and open, constantly relax. You can grab inside or outside. You can breathe in. You can straighten the knees gently as long as it doesn't put any undue stress on your hamstrings. And then breathe out. Pull down, letting the elbows go out to the side. You can come up very slowly. Then the head hang. Shoulders relax. Head's the very last thing to come up. Breathe in and breathe out. From the front position, again, you might try closer stances, wider stances. Again, listen to your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, relax and sink. The spine is the tree of life. Again, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. You can actually visualize the breath going up the back of the leg if you want. If you straighten the legs a little bit, and breathe out. Pulling down gently. And coming up slowly. Head's the last thing to come. Come up. And harmonize. And again, swing tree at the end. Always work your rotators. Let those muscles relax and soften. Again, blowing bellows, very powerful technique, but a technique you want to be very, very careful with as you move forward with that. Now this movement, hit the tree, split the sky, is a very, very powerful technique. We go to a wide stance. And we go back to sort of our shoot the bow position. The arms pushed together. We breathe in and we sink and we put our right hand out in a fist. Again, if you remember from the other series, the hand was open. Now we have it closed. We want to make sure our bone alignment is straight here. We don't want the wrist curl back. The other hand's to the side. We breathe in, palms come together, and then we breathe out and we shoot the arrow up into the sky. We breathe in, turn the hands over, and then we split the sky. And we breathe in We breathe out, changing hands. Getting the left hand out now. My right, your left. Breathe in. Shoot the arrow up into the sky. Sink. Get those arms coming up like in support the sky. Come up. And then split the sky. Hit the tree. Split the sky. Again, when you hit the tree, you want to focus at the end of that hand. Kind of focus your gaze. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. You can breathe out actually stronger with this movement. Again, the more pressure you have in the body, the more you can breathe out. If you watch weightlifters when they're lifting very, very heavy weights, they breathe out very, very strong. So again, the breath releases the pressure. So as you do movements, again, learn to let the breath release the pressure. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. In some cases, you can again hold it. Again, breathe in and breathe out. You can actually hold this to the point where your body vibrates. And if it's vibrating, again, that's okay. Or if it's shaking, which you might call shaking or vibrating. Again, just make sure your goal is not to break your body down, but to build it up. So again, you have to learn to feel the difference between when is my body, when is it enough, when do I need to take a break, when do I need to harmonize. And when you come up and you harmonize, make sure, again, loosen up the hips laterally, the ankles laterally, the shoulders and the arms. Okay, now we're going to show that from the rear position. Again, wide stance, arms together, breathe in and breathe out and sink, pushing the knees out, letting the body sink again. You want to make sure your back is not arched at all, but it's rounded. And breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, sink. Again, breathe in and sink. Breathe in. Shoot the arrow into the sky. Then come up and split the sky. You can breathe in, sink. Come up, shoot the arrow. This time we're going to stay low, turn the hands out, split, and then come up. So again, you can see that there's a little bit difference in the change of movement. Stay down, turn the hands, then come up. There's an old joke about how many Tai Chi instructors does it take to change a light bulb, and it's 100. One to actually change the light bulb, and 99 to stand around and say, well, we do it a little bit differently at our school. So again, it's very easy to get caught up in the way things are done instead of what the goal or the intent of the movement is. So again, when you want to get it together, again, we want to have a clear goal so you can direct your energy through the verbal or physical techniques to fit the situation you're encountering, which is your body in this case, to achieve your goal. You should use the situation you're encountering through this training to work on your inner skills, your patience with yourself, your discipline, your sense of gentleness with yourself as you move through the motions and learning to listen to your body, being detached, just being very clear on what your body can and can't do. And then you are testing it in the laboratory of your body to see what works and what doesn't work for you. And again, you need to listen to that. Tai Chi is something you are becoming through this process of training. It's not something you're just learning. So again, this is your laboratory, this is your field of study, and moving from the clear goal is very, very important. And again, adapting it to fit you is just as important as well. The last movement in the 8 verses of Brocade is called Connect the Core. Again, we stand with our feet shoulder apart, we just breathe in, and then you just relax your body. Just let it kind of drop and sink. Again, breathe in, and relax and sink. Breathe in, and relax. So again, it's a little bit quicker movement. Again, we're letting our body connect all the way through. Now, another way we're going to do this is we're going to actually bring our heels up just a little bit, and as we sink, let that kinetic energy go all the way from the heel to the top of the head. So you almost feel like it's coming out the head. You can breathe in and down. You can also let your hands relax and shake the hands off like this. So again, you feel the kinetic energy going through your body instead of being locked into the body at all. Again, we can let our body expand, contract. I always think of an elevator, kind of just we let it drop and then it catches. Again, breathe in, drop the heels. Again, you want to make sure you don't do this too hard because you can give yourself a headache. If your whole body isn't open, you'll feel the stress will always go to the weakest link of the chain in your bone structure. And again, we can actually even do it a little quicker with a very gentle bouncing effect. Again, connecting the core, letting the whole core of our being, the whole core of this brocade, work and move together. Oftentimes they'll reference Tai Chi as a sheet hanging on a clothesline that if you hit it with a stick, it just bends and molds and moves. And connecting the core is allowing that energy to, wherever it goes in, we let it go out someplace else instead of holding it in any particular organ or part of our body. When we get stressed out or tense, when we make judgments, when we get fearful, our breath comes up into our body and we put tension into the body. And then what happens is that we get home at the end of the day and we've got this accumulation of tension and stress in our body. So this is one of the greatest things to do is to stretch out your arms, open wide your heart, breathe out, relax and sink. Do these exercises to build your power, to build your tapestry, to build your brocade, and to not let it stay locked in your muscles and your organs. Again, keep your body flowing like a river of energy so that, again, you can stay fluid and open to the things around you as you move forward.